Welcome, automation beginners. Feeling lost in the world of UiPath Orchestrator processes? Manage processes can be complex, but not anymore. This video is your guide to mastering with the UiPath Orchestrator API, unlocking effortless control on your processes. Learn to list and view existing processes, create new processes with ease, delete unwanted processes with precision, start and monitor the job for smooth execution, stop jobs when needed to prevent automation hiccups. By the end, you will be confidently managing your processes by boosting your automation efficiency. So let's dive in. Cool. As you can see, we are in the UiPath studio now. Here, as you can see, I have kept one input dialog and one of the switch case where I have created different switch cases. We'll keep on moving to the different switch cases based on our input dialog. So let's go ahead with our get process API first. How we can get all the processes that are available in our process tab. So once you'll go to the tenant, then you'll go to the specific folder. Under that folder you'll see automation tab. So inside that automation tab we'll have four different tabs. So out of that, one tab is called the process tab. So all that processes available in the process tab we are going to get. The processes is also called the releases. So the releases are required to run a job, so that is also we'll see how we can like run the job based on the releases. So let's go first with the release. For that, let's take one activity called HTTP request. Let's take this one. Let's try to configure it. First of all, we'll choose our base URL. Then we'll add our endpoint. So our endpoint will be OData releases. Let's take it. Let's make the timeout as 60,000 and client certificate will be nothing. Password will be nothing. Request method will be get and accept response will be JSON. Let's add few headers as well. So our first header will be authorization. So let's provide it as it is, and value will be bearer. Along with this, we'll provide our access token as well, that we are getting it from outside. So if you haven't watched the video how to get the access token, I'll provide the link in the description box. You can watch that video as well. Along with that, we have to pass our organization ID. So let's take it, this parameter. Our organization ID is this one. So let's copy it, go here, give it to this one. Okay, need to give it in the string. That's it. Okay, everything is configured over here. After that, we need to create the response content variable. Let's set J response, and then we'll be having one more variable called status code. All right, that's it. Now let's take one if activity. So in this activity we will validate whether our status code is 200 or not. So if the status code is 200, that means we have made the correct request. If it is other than 200, that means there are some mistakes while calling the API, or there is some connection error and all. So this is done. If it is 200, what we have to do is we have to deserialize it. So let's take deserialization. Our input will be J response and the output will be J object. J object. Alright, this is done. Now let's take one for each activity. in that for each activity we will iterate through the each element, each children of the value token. So let's say j object dot select token. Which token? The value token. And token value token children's will iterate. Alright, so let's do a log message over here. Inside this we'll set later whatever we are getting the response from the API. So I believe that's it that we have to do over here. Let's give one log message for the else case as well to see what is the status code. Status code. That's it. Okay, we need to convert it into the string. Alright, let's debug it. Let's choose the operation as get processes. Hit OK. Alright, let's see if we got the 200 or not. Fine, you can see the status code is 200, and in the value token what is the data count is 2. So this is our value token where we have the objects, and we have the release key. Let's keep it in the notepad. This is our release key. Then we will need the name. So this is our name. Let's take it. Other than that, there are some other values as well. Let's check if something is required or not. I'm just trying to check if I'm getting the key as release name or not. If that is not there, that means we will be having the name as okay. From here there is some other process started, so we will be having the name only. Let's hit OK. Let's go here and stop it once. We'll use a build data table activity. Let's take it. Our first column will be key and second column will be name. Let's hit OK. Sorry, Control K, DT processes. What we have to do over here is we'll use add data row activity. This one, and here we will add current item of key, and second our will be the name, and the data table was DT processes. We are doing any mistake over here. Let's check it. Okay. At the end, after the for each loop, we'll use right range. We'll write it in the test.xlsx. Sheet name will be the process processes, and our data table will be dt processes. Let's choose the header. So that's it. Now debug it one more time. Let's choose the operation as get processes. Let's hit continue and continue. As we had two items, let's go to the refresh over here, see if the test.xlsx is created or not. Let's go to the folder once. Here you can see we have the test.xlsx. So let's open it once. Go to the processes. So cool, you can see whatever the processes that were available in the orchestrator, we can see over here as well, the test and the Excel manipulation. So this is how basically we can get the release key and release name. So this name is basically called the release name, and this key is basically called the release key. Now let's see how we can create another releases, how we can create another processes in the orchestrator without using the UI of our orchestrator. We can do it with the API as well. So let's see how we can do it. Let's close this. Let's go to UiPath. Let's minimize the sequence and open the sequence create process. So let's open it. So basically for the create process we need three things: process key, process version, and the display name. So process key we basically get it from the published packages that are available in our tenant feed. So if you haven't watched the video related to the packages, I'll recommend you to watch it. I'll put the link in the description box as well, so you can get it, how to get the packages key or the packages ID from that video. Then we'll get the process version. You can get the process version from the same video as well, and the display name you can set it from yourself. So let's make the body of the request first. Let me click on assign. Alright, so here we'll be having the request body. In the request body we have three things: process key, pass it over here, apart from that let's do one thing, and we need process version. Let me pass it over here, then the name. Okay, so the process key, in my case I'll get it from the Swagger itself. So basically you need the ID. So let's get the ID from here. Let's paste it. The version I'll be having it as 1.0.2, and the name I'll give it new release. Alright, let's take an activity called HTTP request. That will be this one. Let's hit on configure. Before click on configure, let's copy this endpoint first. Let's hit on configure. This will be initial part of URL. Then we'll be having the endpoint. Let's make it as 60,000. Here also we have nothing. Then the request method will be post, and accept response will be JSON. Then we have to add two parameters. One is for authorization and second one is for the UiPath organization unit ID. So we copy it from there so that there won't be any spelling mistake. Let's copy it from here. Okay, let's hit on configure. Go to parameters, add headers, paste it. Right, let's do one thing. So in this we need this much only, not this. Along with this we want access token. Let's hit on save. Our second parameter will be, okay, do one thing again, paste it, remove this and remove this as well. Let's hit save. Go here. Okay, I need to copy it from notepad, so let's go here, copy it, go again, click configure and paste it. That's it. Now let's go to the body. Here we have to convert our dictionary to JSON. So Newtonsoft will use Newtonsoft dot JSON convert, and in this we will pass our dictionary object. With this formatting JSON dot formatting dot indented, right? That's it. And body format will be JSON. JSON. Let me go here again. Okay, I have to serialize it. Alright, so this is done. Now I have to use one if activity to just make sure, like, if I have done everything is correct or not. Alright, before going to the if activity, I forgot to create the output. So let's say J response I already have created. Then status code. Let's put the status code here as well. If it is equal to 1, then I have done everything as per the requirement. So let's log the message. Message will be process created, and in the else part we will set the status code. Alright, so everything done now. Let's execute and see if we are able to create the process or release or not. So let's choose the operation. The operation will be create process. Finally, let's execute, refresh it. You can see we are able to create the new release. So this is how we can basically create the new release. Now let's move to our next endpoint, which is delete the process. So how we can delete it? We need the process key or the release key in order to delete any specific process. So I have already get the release key by executing the endpoint get processes. So now let's see how we can delete the process. So I'll take an activity called http request. Let me copy the endpoint. So my endpoint will be this one. Let's hit on configure, base URL. Along with this I have this one. So I'll copy the key from an Excel file. This will be JSON, and our header should be these two as we are keeping it earlier. So let's go to parameter, hit on header. Let it be as it is, first one. my second header. One second, okay, let's save it. And second header, all right. Let me write something random, then only I will be able to add other header. So this should be other header. Let me cut it from here, paste it, and cut this one as well. At the end we will add our access token, which we are getting from the outer XML, which is actually our authentication XML. So these should be two headers, and let's make it as nothing. This should also be nothing. That's it. These are all the settings that we have to do. And one more thing, let me copy the actual key from the Excel file. So let's go to the processes. This is my release key. Let's go here, hit on configure again one more time. Let's paste it. Check OK. Go to the properties. Here, capture the status code to know whether we have passed the realistic values or we have made some mistakes. So JResponse. Let's take log message. Okay, it should be log. It will be status code. Alright, everything is done. Now let's execute and see whether we'll be able to delete that process or not. Hopefully we'll be able to delete it. The expected status code is 204. So let's see. So let's choose the operation as delete process, hit OK. Boom, we have got the expected status code as 204. Let's go to the orchestrator, refresh it once. Cool, that new release key process has been deleted. So this is how basically we can delete a process by using the release key. Now let's move to our next endpoint, which is to start a job or to start a process. Let's suppose this is the process that we want to execute. How we will be able to execute using the API key. So that we are going to see. So let's go to the UiPath Studio and do the configuration to start the job. So, right, I'm in the UiPath Studio now, and here instead of creating the everything from scratch, let's do one thing. Copy this HTTP request activity and this if activity from here, and go down, start job, and paste it. Alright, and to start the job, our endpoint I will show you, and the body, how should be the body. First of all, let me show you what should be the endpoint. So this is our endpoint that is required to start a job, and below this one is the body. That is how the request body should be. Now let's go here, hit on configure, and pass it over here. Rest everything will be same. Let's hit OK, and the status code should be 200. Let's prepare the body. So to prepare the body we need these things. Let's copy it from here, take the assign activity. Okay, instead of this, let's take multi-assign. Okay, request body, go to the advanced editor, and the key will keep it as release key. We need this part. Let's remove the extra spaces. hit on save, click add, job request body, and this time second parameter will be strategy, and remove this release key, job count, hit on save, and add one more parameter that contains the job count. Again open it in advanced editor. This time we'll keep the job count. That's it. And at the end we'll use the request body, and this time we'll be having the start info. The start info will contain the whole body. So for the start info we have another dictionary, and for these things we have another dictionary. Let's pass it over here, and dictionary will be of string of object. Let's pass the release key from here. Let's copy it once, go here, add the release key. Strategy will be modern jobs count, and the job count will be 1, and start info will contain the whole job request body. That's it. And in this, let's see if we have passed the body or not. Yeah, we have already passed it and converted it and serialized the dictionary object. So let's change the log message from run. That's it. Let's go to main, execute it, and see if we are able to execute the job or not. Let's choose the operation as start job, hit OK. Alright, we got the required, I believe this one. I think I have made mistake in the status code noticing. Yeah, so the expected status code should be 201, and you can see this job has been executed. If I'll go to the job section, see this is running and it has started executing 19 seconds ago, and it is showing the message pop-up which was the script in the automation. Alright, let's hit OK, and it is done. So this is how basically we can execute a process. Now let's see how we can get all the processes that are, all the jobs that are available in our jobs section. It doesn't matter if it is a whatever the status will be, or the state will be of the job, all the jobs will be able to fetch it using our API or the endpoint. So for that case, the endpoint will be this one. Let's go here and do one thing. What we can do, we can use the get processes, and let's copy it, copy this as well, and copy this all. Let's go down in the get job section and paste it. Cool. Let's hit on configure. So before, let's see what will, okay, I need the endpoint as OData jobs, I believe. Yes, let's go here again, hit on configure and change the endpoint. Rest all the details will be as it is. Hit on OK, and what I can do to remove this error, let's go to the sequence and change the scope. Okay, looks like this is the duplicate. What was the variable? DT processes. Okay, let it be. We'll create another data table for the jobs. Let's go up jobs. Let's go down in the for each. What is there over here? Yeah, for the data table only. Let's pass the data table as dt jobs, and here again dt jobs. That's it, and change the sheet name to jobs. And before going inside the deserialization, let's see what we are getting through this API call, because based on that we can actually get the data into the data table, right? So let's put a breakpoint over here. Let's go to the main and execute it. So let's use the operation as get jobs, hit OK. Alright, let's see if the API call is correct or not. Yes, the API call is correct. Let's see what we are getting in the response. So in the value we have key, the start time, and the state, and along with that we'll get some other details, like if we'll get the display name, that will be good. Info we have it. Let me just okay, I think I can't get it from here, the whole data. Let me do one thing. Let's go to the Swagger and the OData jobs. Let's see what and all the details we can get it. Okay, let me hit on try out. Let's hit on execute. Okay, let me do authorize. Close it. Let's go down. I need the folder ID actually. Let's copy it, pass it over here, hit on execute. So we can get the key, state, and we can get these much details, but out of that let's get the ID, the release name. Okay, we were expecting this one. Let's go here, stop it. Let's prepare our data first. Let's hit on data table. We will be having the key name. Let's add some more details like the ID, and that's enough, I believe. And also the state will be better. So this one, so we can get to know whether the job is faulted or successful or stopped. Hit OK and OK. Let's go here. We'll add the key, then display name, or what is the value over here, release name. We'll get this one. Okay, let me open it in editor. So this should be the release name, then this should be the ID. And at the end we were having the state, right? So the state should be like this. Let's go here again. That's it. Let's hit on save. everything is configured now. Let's go to the main and execute it again. And do one thing, let me close this file as well, else it will throw an error saying file is getting used. Let's choose the operation as get jobs, hit OK. Let me continue it. Cool. Let's open the file again. So this is the file. Let's go to jobs. Here you can see it. So these are the keys of the jobs, these are the names of the jobs, and these are the IDs of the jobs, and here you can get the state of the job. So based on this, you can, if you want to do some analytics, you can do it. And if you want to get the logs as well for any specific job, you can use the key to get the logs of that jobs. So this is how basically you can get the jobs in your orchestrator, from your orchestrator. Now let's move to our last endpoint, which is to stop or kill the jobs. Let's go to UiPath Studio, and instead of doing all the things from scratch, what we'll do is we'll copy the activities from start job and utilize them over here. So let's maximize this, and in this we do not need the release key and the job count, so let them delete. And here we need the request body, not the job request body. So let me delete the job keyword from this. Go here, and the strategy will be kill. Alright, and the second parameter will be job IDs. So let me get the job ID from that Excel. So this is my job ID, which is running. This pop-up is showing that one process is running. So let me show you in the orchestrator as well. So let me refresh it once. Here you can see one process is already running. So that ID which I copied it from the Excel file, it actually belongs to this process, and the job ID will be the array. So why it is array? Because we can pass multiple job IDs to stop it at once. So this is basically the body of the request should be. And let me copy the endpoint from the text file. So let's go to the text file. Let's copy this endpoint. Okay, the start job and end job endpoint is almost same, only the keyword difference is stop job. So let's go here again. Let's hit on configure. Let's change this last keyword. Instead of start job, it should be stop jobs. Let's paste it. Rest all the details will be same. Let's hit OK. Let's go down, and this status code will be 02 not. Let me change the log message as job stopped. Alright, so all the configurations are done. Now let's execute and see whether we'll be able to stop or kill this job or not. Let me execute it. So let's choose the operation as kill job, hit OK. You can see I'm getting the log message as job stopped, and see, fine, you can see that pop-up has been gone. Now let's go here and refresh it again. So you can see this job has been stopped now. There is no running job. So basically we can use that endpoint to stop the jobs without moving to the orchestrator, or without going to the orchestrator. We can kill the jobs through the API. With this we are done for the day. I hope you enjoyed the video and learned something exciting. So if you enjoyed, please like and share the video and subscribe to our channel. So we'll meet in our next video. Till then, happy automating. Bye bye.